You ready down there?
I think so. I think I've done what I was supposed to do.
You're live. We're on TV.
There we go.
All right, shall we get started? We're going to say the pledge before we start.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. We are missing one of our members. He's not feeling so good, but said he'd be watching on TV, so. First item on our thing is to amend and or accept tonight's agenda. I have two things that we need to add. The action item M will be the resignation of Josie Lowe. And then the other one, the action item N as in Nancy, for the footlighters, use of the auditorium, January 7, 14, and 21.
Those are all Sundays, correct? Yes.
Yes, there were Sunday activities, or Sundays.
I'm assuming, Kevin, that will move K to the end of the closed session? Is that the plan, or?
Yes, we will probably flip-flop that. We will
Put that at the end?
move K to the end.
I'm going to move K and L too.
K and L, yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're gonna move action items K and L behind M and N. Anybody have anything else that we need to add to tonight's agenda?
Well, we make, approve the agenda as amended.
Fourth?
All right, we have a motion to accept tonight's agenda with support. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. At this time, it is time for public comment. Public comment is limited to 2 minutes per person, so if anybody has anything they would like to say, now would be the time. Hearing none, I guess we will move on to our routine matters. We need to approve our November minutes. Hope everyone had a time to check that over. I thought it looked good.
Make a motion?
Support?
Motion support to approve our November minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Need to consider general fund invoices for payment. Matt?
I would like to make a motion to pay from the general fund checks 76386 through 76564 for a total of $171,283.62, and from food services checks 76457 through 76543 for $53,309.60.
Do I have support?
Support?
Motion support for our invoices for payment. Any questions?
I have a check in here, so I'll abstain from voting. There's a reimbursement check in here for these, so
Okay,
I'll abstain.
very good, okay. Motion support. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you, Matt. Moving on to reports and communications, myself, just want to remind everybody that this is last meeting of this year, and next year will be January. we're gonna have to re-elect officers, or elect officers, re-elect, whatever you wanna do, I guess, something to think about here before now and then. And, but other than that, that is all I have. Superintendent.
Yeah, a lot going on, month of December. It's been an exciting month already. A lot more excitement to come. We have our track out for bid. Those are due on Wednesday. Those track bids are due Wednesday at 2 o'clock. So we will have those track bids and openings at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Thursday, our secure entries, our offices, and our weight room expansion will be out for bid also. Those bids are due on Thursday at 3:30. So exciting times to receive those. Anxious times too, to see what the cost is going to be. Also, as you guys are aware, it's official. Ryan Biller, Mr. Biller is now the superintendent of Tri-County Area Schools. Very excited for him. Been a good career goal of his for a while now. So his last day will be Friday, December 15th. He is not here tonight. His son has a football banquet tonight. I thought it was important that his go and be there with his son. So that puts a little bit of a void in with our high school principal. We're very thankful that Becky Rodenbaugh has agreed to do the interim high school principal for the remainder of the school year. I did promise her that we would post that in the spring. But we know that she's going to do very well with it. And we're excited and thankful for her willingness to do that. It's going to create a smoother transition for our students and our staff. Mrs. Rodenbaugh has relationships with our kids and our staff. If we wanted to make it a smooth transition for the rest of the year, switching people in the middle of the year is never an ideal time, but we thought that this was a smooth transition, so thank you, Mrs. Rodenbaugh, for that. We have other things in my update that will probably come up later, some of the discussion items. Does anyone have any questions for me on the update, or any questions at all?
I just wanted to say that I've gotten to know the board president at Tri-County where Ryan is going, and they're excited to have him.
Mm-hmm.
They're very excited about it.
Okay, no questions. I guess we'll move on to our business manager, Liz.
Just to go over, mainly I'll just talk about the budget amendment. That's probably the major part of what I have for you tonight. So I printed you off each another copy of the budget amendment. It shows the actual where we came in last year, and then our original adopted and this December amendment. And this is just a good time of year to do an amendment to, catch us up to where we are closer to, closer to where we actually are right now. As we all know, we came in better at the end of last year than my conservative budgeting had projected. So our fund balance came in at a much better number than I had in the original budget. So this updates that fund balance. We had some additional transportation funding, different grant funding that we knew was coming, but we had no idea how much we were going to be getting. Some of those numbers we have now, some of them we're still waiting for the finals, but we're closer to knowing what we're going to get. For example, 31A funds, we've all had to apply for those, even though that's coming through state aid. We know we're going to get approximately $220 a student, but we haven't officially gotten those numbers yet, but I have that calculated in there with that. And that additional transportation funding that we received was, a nice addition. We can use that to offset, transportation expenditures that we already have. So those numbers are adjusted in there. So overall, our revenues from the original budget are up $1,434,098. And the expenditures are up 629,513. Some of those expenditures are added due to grants that we received the Innovative Library Grant again, which we did not know yet when we had done the original budget. I think we got half of what we got last year, is that right, Scott? We got 75,000.
Still a nice amount of money.
Yes, very nice, very nice. And so we're using some of that to offset expenditures and some to buy additional library books and different needs that the library has. So pupil count, when we had originally done the budget, we had that at 1,042, and now we have it at 1,078. That's a blended count between spring and fall. That hasn't been audited yet, but that's where we are at right now. So I adjusted for that. The transportation funding, I think I have that on my notes page. I have, in the notes that I gave you, if you want more detail, there's additional detail there, but the transportation funding is an additional $142,000. So that's very, very nice to get that. They finally are recognizing that for the districts that, you know, have a large geographical area, that transportation costs more. So let's see, we also added in for the new GSRP class up at the preschool. As far as expenditures, I updated the retirement and health insurance to the new rates, made some adjustments for Mr. Biller leaving, Ms. Rodendahl going into that position. We received some additional at-risk revenue, so we moved some more aid time in there. Let's see, security funding. So that's about it. Like I said, I gave you some notes here if you want some additional, more detailed information on what, you know, the major adjustments were. But overall, the fund balance looking much better predicted at June 30, 2024 at $2,744,558, which is a 18.28% fund balance, and our goal is to be around 15 or a little higher. So. Right. Any of you have any questions or anything on that I can go into more detail on? We will amend again probably one more time this spring, just for any additional funding. We'll get our carryover for our title grants. That money will get approved. We have some of that budgeted already, but we'll probably do it in the spring, and then, of course, a final one in June, so.
Okay. Do you remember, I know you do, because I talk about it all the time, so when we do it in June, it's a guess. When we adopt in June, it's a guess, and this is definitely more finite, and you guys know I get frustrated with it. I can't imagine Liz's frustration with always crunching the numbers and me always emailing her saying, hey, do we have an update yet? So we appreciate your hard work on that.
Yes.
Sure do.
Yeah, thank you.
You can bring this news any day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just remember that if it's not this news.
Yeah.
No, this one.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Liz.
You're welcome.
Principals, I think you're on your own tonight.
Yeah.
At least so far.
Does that mean I get taught for the amount of time for three
Well,
people?
I guess you-
Nope, sure doesn't.
No. David is, I think, on his way, so.
Yes.
So I'll talk till he gets here.
Sure.
All right, as you got in the update, we have a bunch of different fun things going on in the middle school. One of the updates is our after-school tutoring for the months of September, October into November. We had 145 additional kid hours tutoring going on with that support after school that we offer 4 days a week, unless we have a different event planned. So we're excited about that. The kids are getting a lot out of it, really helping keep up on their homework and getting additional questions answered. Our CTC students, we have 6 of them partnered up with CTC, going for an afternoon a month, learning all of the different trades that CTC offers. It's a really good introduction, and it spreads more than just the 6 we take. They're kind of like the representatives that talk about everything they get to do. So this last Friday they were there and they made calzones in the food and the kitchen area, and they're telling all the kids, so now everyone wants to go and, oh, you just get to go to school and make food all day? Yeah, it's great. So that's kind of an exciting thing that they're getting to do there. Our pajama drive, we have close to 50 sets of pajamas this year donated to Project Christmas. PBIS is going fantastic with their students. We're getting ready for our school-wide reward that everybody pitched in together and got our bucket filled up. So Monday we're doing
Christmas cookies, cocoa, and a movie for the last hour or so of the day. We're gonna come together as a whole school. I got a lot of baking to get done this weekend, so we're ready for that event on Monday. As you see, there's a lot of Christmas things going on. Our billboards are covered, we have trees up everywhere. A lot of fun that the kids get to earn for extra rewards. Our STEM class, really wanna give a shout out to Jill Bronkema. She recently had gotten another $2,000 grant that she applied for and won. She's working at a couple different competitive robotics classes with one of the big ones that brought in a good chunk of money for the school last year was Women in STEM, where the girls were building robots competing on a state level, and that was awesome to see that. So a lot of different things going on in our STEM program. That's quite exciting to see, and yeah, we're just having a great time, ready for Christmas break, but having a lot of fun as we get there. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to reference, if you notice our attendance, from start of school year to the end of November, last school year, our attendance rate was 91.5%. This year, we're running at 95.8%. And we definitely attest a lot of that to improved culture and climate in our buildings, kids wanting to be there, working with the ISD, getting a lot of additional attendance training. We're finding out it's kind of an anomaly to be riding in that 95% and above, and we're doing that district-wide, and that's exciting to see. That we can really hone in on those kids that need the extra support in getting to school, but the majority of our kids are hanging in there and trending in the right direction. So that's an awesome thing we see district-wide.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions for Mr. Finstrom? I guess if David comes in, we
I
can.
can do a quick elementary
Oh.
and high school
Okay, sure.
update real quick. Rambler Dads is going well. We had quite a few dads in with that program. Elementary continues to work with on Orton Gillingham, which Mrs. Rodenbaugh would have to help me with this, but it's a phonics instruction. It's a training that all of our elementary staff have been through. We're seeing good success with that in our reading programs. And then also, so December 12th, which is tomorrow, our kindergarten through second grade concerts begin. So those will start at 6:30. With kindergarten, I believe first grade is at 7, and then second grade's at 7:30 for those concerts. High school, as you know, Mr. Biller is finishing up this week, and we appreciate that. Mrs. Rodenbaugh will be taking the helm. She's already started the transition with that. We have a PBIS celebration on Friday, December 15th in the afternoon for our kids. They're meeting expectations. We have 6 students that are students of the month at CTC, which is always a positive thing. And as Mr. Finstrom said, Mr. Finstrom's taken the lead on our attendance. Our attendance has been through the roof, district-wide. You know, when you're at 91%, a 4% increase is quite large. I mean, if you look at it, 'cause you don't have much to grow. It is our hopes that, you know, with the attendance in school, we get better education, but also better workforce, with people attending work and going to work on a regular basis. And that's a big, attributed a lot to the PBIS, to the staff, but also the parents. Working hard at getting their kids here too, so. Any other questions for high school or elementary?
All right, thank you for that, Scott.
Yeah.
Moving on to committee reports.
No committees.
Yeah, I'd say we didn't have no meetings this past month, so we have nothing to report on. Ken, anything from MASB?
Just a real short, I know we're gonna be longer tonight, so I didn't really put together a lot of formality. I attended a couple things on the 8th of November. I attended the MASB board meeting. It was pretty routine. And then the 9th through 11th, I did the annual leadership conference in Lansing. It was a very good conference. I didn't stay for the Sunday session, but it was very good. Some of the sessions, what they call CBA classes I attended was one on navigating the legislative process, trying to understand how does something become law. If I got an idea, how does that become law, and all the steps it goes through. That was attended one on board superintendent relationships, how to establish good relationship with your superintendent, and I attended a meeting on effective board meetings. And a couple of the sessions I attended were interesting. One was called Don't Leave Money on the Table, and it had to do with managing your debt, leveraging your debt levels, and trying to keep those at an acceptable level. And as they retire, to kind of keep the bucket full, that kind of thing. So that was real interesting. Also attended one on school safety. This one was rather interesting one. There was a lady in there who was a board. I don't know if she was the president at the Oakland school when that shooting occurred. And so to listen to her talk, it was pretty touching what you go through in that. So hope we never go there. Couple of general sessions I attended. One was there's a couple of gentlemen from Pennsylvania that did a case study on Mr. Rogers neighborhood, and it all had to do with encouraging kids to ask questions and to seek out new things. And I actually have a book that I bought for the administration. I'll make sure you get that, but it's called When You Wonder, You're Learning. It's just about encouraging kids to ask questions and seek new things and that kind of thing. So I'll be getting those to you, Scott. There was a General Assembly on Thursday night. This was a little disappointing. There was some resolutions introduced and adopted and changed. There was a delegation there that was not to my liking, but their main goal was to remove the language as far as curriculum development goes. They don't want any language there that would involve parents being involved in curriculum development. And so unfortunately that passed, and that's out of the resolution now, but I thought that was rather unfortunate. But January 12th, I'll be going to the Government Relations Committee. The legislature is going to be back in session, so we'll get started on that again. And January 19th, another board meeting. If February 2 and 3, there's going to be a 2-day educational opportunity for board members, and I think it's all going to be virtual. So something I'd like to talk a little bit more about, that even if we could get a few to come here and do a virtual lesson or something like that, it's a good opportunity, but there's more details coming in that. And then the 2024 Leadership Conference is going to be October 24, 27 this year, which is earlier than normal. So we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, it was a good session.
All right, thanks, Ken.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Moving on to, we got a few short discussion items, repetitive discussion items, I should say. LEA plan use of funds.
We will continue to use our ESSER monies as we had originally planned. We don't see any changes with that funding. If we do have changes, we will let you know.
Okay, and 31 AA mental health.
Yep, any further discussion on our mental health funds? I know we are looking at doing, one of the bids out is weight room expansion to help improve mental health of our students. That was talked about last meeting. Doesn't mean we're going through with it. But any other discussion on 31AA?
I'd like to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we've discussed this for a couple months now. It's been a good discussion. I think it's been good, and during the last month, I've had more discussion with Scott, and I think Liz, you've kind of joined in some of the discussion, and I just need to state where I'm at with that. I'm still opposed to using those funds for the purpose that's been on the table. And I think I've explained why, but I need to say it again. We're really facing a lot of financial pressures in everything we touch. You know, with the sinking fund, the bond issue, with the economy like it is, everything we touch is costing a lot more than what we projected. And this is like $120,000, and we have a long list of needs, and there's needs that have been on our list for a long, long time. And I'm gonna refer specifically to the middle school gym. That floor project has been on our agenda for about 5 years now. And at one point during the 2018-19 millage campaign, it was stated that we probably would have to close that gym at some point because the floor was getting so bad. We have an opportunity to correct that now, and we have that on our sinking fund list. But we're also at the point where we're saying we may have to delay that because we don't have the money. We don't have the money to cover that. This is an opportunity that we could easily put this $120,000 toward that, and it would, I think, probably increase our chances of being able to do that this year. Because I think, we went to the people for sinking fund money. We've identified the projects, and I think it's real risky for us to start delaying those projects now. And I feel that putting this $120,000 toward that will increase our chances of being able to live up to what we told the residents we were gonna do. I just don't, I don't question the validity of the weight room thing. It's a great thing. But I also feel that we have an opportunity to enhance our sinking fund monies, probably serve more kids in the gymnasium, and it's gonna be something physical that our public's gonna be able to see if we can get that project done this year. I believe it could be done within a time frame. I think we're September deadline. And I think we're potentially looking at that being a summer project. So I maintain that the intended use in the weight room of those funds is not the highest priority we have. I'm not questioning the project. I'm just saying this is not the time. We've got a lot of other places for that money and needs that have been on our agenda for a long, long time. And it's time we apply money to that. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?
I've had an opportunity to kind of hear some excitement from kids about the possibility of the weight room being redone. And it's kind of neat to see them excited about that. And I know it touches a lot of kids that aren't in sports, who may never be in a sport, and it's almost like a win for the kids to hear that that might happen. They wanted it for so long, so I'd like to still continue to explore that.
And I would agree with Ken, if I felt like we could use that money for the middle school gym floor, then we would do that. I do believe that it's supplanting, because it's not offering new space, new opportunities, it's just replacing something that we already have. Liz and I have been in discussion with that, and we agree with that this is expansion, which is gonna offer more opportunities. The middle school gym floor, this money does not qualify for because of that. But I would agree with you. If I could do that, I would do that.
I don't know if I understand supplanting. In your word, I'm not sure I know what that means. But I think the way I took that is, over the life of our sinking fund, we're in there for 10 years. We're going to have to periodically add money to our sinking fund monies, either from our capital projects fund or for the general fund. That could be a normal process where we have to supplement that. And I guess I don't see, maybe I don't understand supplanting, I don't know. But certainly, this facility, it maybe not a physical expansion, but if the school was saying, this board was saying for a while that we were gonna shut the gym down because the floor was so bad, I don't think we want to go there either. So this could be, well, it's not a physical expansion of the walls. Is certainly, if we can't use that gym anymore, it's gonna protect the activities we have now. I don't know, that's where I'm at.
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything? All right.
Good discussion.
Good discussion.
So I guess I have to ask, okay, we've got a bid coming in on this. When is the board gonna the board really officially said what we're gonna do?
Right.
When does that come? I guess I'd ask.
So our bids will come in, Kevin and I spoke before the meeting, bids will come in this next week. Talked about scheduling a special board meeting for the following week to approve or disapprove bids.
Committee meeting.
Well, we first talked about a board meeting.
Yes.
And then we talked about, well, maybe we need to have our executive committee meet first, and then have a board meeting shortly after Christmas, to decide and to vote on that. I think we can talk about that when we talk about the special board meeting coming up.
Yes, correct, yes.
But we will, there's still time, and
Right.
it'll be a separate vote item on that.
I understand that, to accept or reject that bid, but it seemed to me at some point the board has to take action and say, this is what we're gonna do. if we're not gonna do that, what's the purpose of accepting or rejecting a bid? If the board say we're not gonna do that project, I mean.
We would have to find another project that money would qualify for.
Okay.
And we've been talking about this since March of last year, I believe. We've talked about hiring another social worker, but then being
Right,
able to maintain that. And we can't currently pay for a social worker that we're currently paying for out of this money because that's supplanted, because the district is already paying for that. Trust me, when we hear the word supplant and supplement from the Department of Education, we feel the same way you do, like, wow. So,
Yeah, it can be frustrating. It can be frustrating because you can think of other uses that you can use, but if you have, funding that you are using.
Right.
And for this funding, the mental health and safety, there's guidelines and
understand
criteria
that.
that money has to meet, in order to be able to do the project.
And we all agree that physical activity is good for mental health. I mean, that's a dog thing, but I don't think the weight room is the only place that physical activity can take place. I mean, obviously it can take place several places, and it's gonna be just as good for mental health for actually a larger number of students if we can get that gym project done. Would you not agree with that? Or?
Well, it's not, it's whether the Michigan Department of Education agrees with it, it's the way that, the way that we have to look at it, and whether or not that we feel that that's something that they are gonna, think that, is a good use of the, mental health safety
I
funds.
understand that, yeah.
Yeah, and it is difficult in one way because it was part of the sinking fund, uses that, that the board said that they were gonna use those sinking funds for. And that might not be able to happen, I understand that because of the prices and things.
Right.
And maybe.
yeah. I like to say it's gonna happen, it just might not happen this year.
Right.
We're gonna keep that promise. It just might not happen this summer, it might happen the following summer.
Right.
And my thing too is, yes, the gym floor needs to be done, but it's not gonna expand our learning area. The weight room is gonna expand, give us twice as much learning area for the kids, and that's.
It will though, if we get to the point where we can't use the gym anymore, which is what this board has said historically.
Yeah.
If we have to stop using it because of the floor, fixing that floor is gonna definitely expand our, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Good discussion.
Okay, moving on to C, return to in-person instruction, continuity of learning. We're still in person, right?
We are still in person, and we will continue to be in person, yes. For those that are in the public, these are items that the Department of Education, we have to report on every month because of COVID, with the closure of schools and the monies that they've given us, so.
That's why
I try to explain that.
It's been repetitive.
Hopefully in September of 2024,
We can
stop
remove
doing
those,
some of
yes.
that.
Didn't we say it last September?
Well, no, some of the money.
All right, good discussion. Moving on to our action items. Action item A is to approve, we have a bunch of Neola policies. 38-1, PO 1540, PO 2370.01, PO 7217, PO 7540.03, PO 8305, and PO 8531. Motion.
Support.
And support. Do we have any discussion on these policy approvals?
Scott, the one you highlighted on the weapons policy, now that's not a change from what we presented last month?
No.
That's just highlighting that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Any more discussion? All right, we have motion and support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item B, to approve the 80/20 staff health insurance premium, which I believe is what we have had.
Yeah, and this is something that we have to do annually as the board. And I believe we neglected it last year, just out of lack of knowledge of that. So we're just getting back on track with that. There's no changes to what we're currently doing with our health insurance for our staff.
Okay.
Motion.
Motion support for the 80/20 health insurance premium. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item C is the resignation of Ann Reese. Ann was a
Parapro, Title I math parapro. Mrs. Reese has been in the district for a number of years. We hate to see her go. She's fantastic with the kids and a fantastic employee. She just has some family opportunities on the horizon that she wants to be a part of and to take advantage of.
Make a motion, we accept the resignation with regrets.
Support.
motion support for Ann's resignation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item D is the resignation of Lucy McBride.
Yep, and Ms. McBride also joined our staff last year, and then took a medical leave and has decided she's not going to return from medical leave, but will be coming back and hopefully substituting for us in teaching roles and potentially parapro roles.
So she was a parapro?
She was, yes.
Okay.
We have a motion, do we have support?
Support.
Motion and support for Lucy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item E, the resignation letter of Mr. Ryan Miller.
One's gonna accept it.
Make a motion that we accept the resignation of Brian Miller.
Support.
We have a motion and support for Ryan. Any discussion? Other than, want to thank him for his years of commitment here. Appreciate it very much. Anybody else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item F is the hire recommendation of Jamie Dottie.
Yeah, so Ms. Dottie will be, Ms. Dottie's been here for goodness, as long as I've been here, filling in as a substitute parapro. But she has applied for and accepted our ELL parapro position. So she'll be working with our English language learners with Ms. Schoner and Ms. Bivens. So we're happy to have her on every day.
Motion.
Support.
We have motion and support for the hire recommendation of Jamie Dottie. Anybody have any more discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item G, new high school course, data science. You might have to explain this.
Yep, so if you remember, the board has to approve all of our high school courses, which they did in last summer. This is a new course that we have for a student who's kind of gone through all the courses that we can provide. And this is a program that Mrs. Utek is certified to teach in, is data science. This will be an independent study for that one student, but we need board approval for that. It's gonna help them achieve their educational goals.
Motion.
Support.
Motion support for the new course, the data science course. Any more discussion?
Was it just a short-term, one-year deal or one semester deal or?
For right now, it could expand if we have other kids that need it. They need to keep, for next year, there's more interest in it.
Will it come back before the board for approval or will?
It will be, so every summer we'll have our courses for approval.
All right, motion support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item H is to approve the Becky Rodeball as our interim high school principal.
Motion.
Support.
They're not gonna let you.
Yep.
I told her that,
Can't
I
leave
told
this
her you
room.
guys were gonna make her wait, at least that's what she
Like, let's be fast, Matt, let's be fast.
That might have been a better approach, since you didn't run out.
All right, we have a motion and support for Becky. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Becky.
That's your chance.
Action item I is approve the budget amendment fiscal year 2023-2024.
Make a motion, we accept the, budget amendment as presented.
Support.
We have motion and support for the budget amendment. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item J, need to schedule a special board meeting, probably for later this month, to go over our project bids. I don't know what everybody's schedule looks like. Scott and I were talking about this ahead of time. We didn't know if over Christmas break would work for anybody or nobody, or
The 20th to the 21st have been mentioned, is that still viable?
I mean, it's still a possibility, I just didn't know if that would rush the decision where I don't know if we could have a committee meeting before then.
No.
It'd still be viable. Kevin and I were just talking about options where it wouldn't have to be that, it could be the 27th or 28th, or, we felt like waiting to the January board meeting may be too long, which would be January 8th. But we also discussed that if we accept them on the 21st or the 20th, is anything really gonna happen until, before Christmas, right? Like,
Yeah, probably not.
or we could get a committee meeting in here next week or so. And we can still meet, if not last week of December, we can meet the first week of January.
You mean the executive committee,
Well,
Kevin, is that what you're talking about?
I mean, the executive committee, we're thinking probably next week.
About Wednesday.
Does Wednesday work for you, Ken?
20th?
The 20th.
I think you said that they worked the 21st.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking evening, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that will.
So we could have a committee meeting on the 20th to go over the bids.
Do we have 5:30?
Sure.
Is that too late?
With a recommendation for the board on whatever day we decide after that, I guess. Like Scott said, he thought maybe the regular January meeting might be a little too late. That would be on January 8th.
The week after Christmas is good for me, if,
I'm good with that too, if it works for
I mean,
everybody
everybody
else.
else
You
has.
mentioned the 27th.
The 27th, that's a Wednesday.
Works for me.
It's fine.
At 6 o'clock?
Yeah. Works for Dennis. What about Mr. Klein?
I think so.
Okay, we're gonna hope it works for Doug too.
I'll send you all an invite.
Okay, so yeah, we'll have a committee meeting on the 20th.
And that's 5:30, did you say?
Committee meeting, yeah.
Yep, 5:30 on the 20th. 27th, we'll have a special board meeting with everybody.
Okay.
And we will,
6.
yes, 6 o'clock. All right, we need to make a motion for those two. Let's make a motion.
Make a motion that we have the executive committee meeting on the 20th of December at 5:30 and a special board meeting on the 27th of December at 6 p.m.
Support. All right, motion support for our special meetings. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we are going to skip K and L. We're gonna go to action item M, resignation of Josie Lowe.
Josie's been with our middle school parapro for the last few years. She's been on a leave and unfortunately unable to return.
Make a motion to accept the resignation.
Supported?
Motion support for Josie's resignation. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Action item N would be to approve the use of the auditorium for the footlighters. I believe these are Sunday dates, January 7, 14, and 21.
And this would be for practice and also tear down. And it would only just be, Jake and Cole from the tech deck needed to be here and both are okay with it.
So these wouldn't be for actual performances then?
No, I was told practices and tear down.
And the performances are on Saturday then, is that?
Or later.
I'm not sure, Ken.
Oh.
The performances are, I apologize.
That's,
I just know the board has to approve the Sunday days.
I'm just saying if the tear down's on Sunday, I'm assuming the performance is on Saturday.
Probably.
Probably. Hope they don't
I'm
tear
following
down.
your logic, but I can't.
Didn't mean to confuse you.
We have a
Motion.
Support.
motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we're gonna go back up to action item K, and that is to go into closed session for our superintendent evaluation.
Make a motion.
Ken will make a motion and I'll support it.
Okay, we have a motion and support to go into closed session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are in
You
closed session.
don't have to say that.
It's one side I have to do this.
So.
Would you just open that door, Becky, and
Yeah, sure.
make sure no one's out there? Dakota can come in, I think he's asking for his class.
I don't see anybody. Oh, I do see somebody. It's just dark out there. Okay, I think we're good.
Come on in, have a
Have a
seat.
seat.
Anywhere. Okay, we're back to our board meeting. We're back into open session. We have done our superintendent evaluation, tallied up the scores. Mr. Matt Klein has all the scores on his fancy little laptop there, so I'm gonna turn the floor over to him.
Alright. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the category and the rating. So under governance and board relations, subcategory is policy involvement, 4. And 4 is highly effective, 3 would be effective. So policy involvement, 4, goal development, 3.5, information, 4, materials and background, 4, board questions, 4, board development, 3. The total for that segment is 3.75, highly effective. Under community relations, so parent feedback, 4, communication with the community, 4, community feedback, 4, media relations, 4, district image, 4, approachability, 4. Also for a highly effective score. Under staff relations, staff feedback, 4, staff communication, 4, personnel matters, 4, delegation of duties, 4, recruitment, 4, labor relations, 4, and visibility into the district, 4. Highly effective, again. Business and finance, so budget development and management, 4. Budget reports, 4. Financial controls, 4. Facility management, 4. Resource allocation, 4. Instructional leadership, performance evaluation system, 4. Building level leadership, 4. Staff development, 4. School improvement, 4. Curriculum, 4. Instruction, 4. Student feedback, 4. Student attendance, 4. Support for the students, 4. Professional knowledge, 4. And then other required components are growth. So the calculation for student growth for McBain Public is 3.5. Again, halfway between effective and highly effective. And progress toward district-wide goals is 4, highly effective. So the overall rating for the year is 3.775, or 94% highly effective. Great job, thank you.
Thank you.
So Matt, what is the professional practice total?
1975.
What's that?
1.975. The weighted, so that section is 395.
3.9, okay.
Yeah. Weighted.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks everybody for participation. Yeah. Appreciate everything Scott is doing.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Moving on to public comment again.
You gotta vote to approve the results.
Oh, yes, we have to back up a little bit. We gotta approve the evaluation results.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion support to accept the evaluation results. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you.
Now moving on to public comment.
To make wrestling a school-funded sport.
Wrestling needs to be a school funded sport.
Wrestling needs to be a school funding sport. That's a good comment.
I like it.
That is perfect.
How do
Certainly,
we go about doing that?
That's a good question.
Well, you can research that and you could present to us at a board meeting.
Well, it's a club thing, no, is it a club thing now?
It's a
It's a
club,
club thing,
right?
isn't it?
Okay.
So
What-
the school sport just not funded yet, and
What other schools have wrestling as a funded sport, do you know?
I
Any
think
idea?
Manton, Cadillac,
Okay.
Pine River, I think Gaylord maybe,
Okay,
quite a few actually do, like City.
okay,
So pretty much all the surrounding schools, I think for one to few that actually don't. And I guess concessions would help pay with that quite a bit.
for the sports boosters potentially, right?
This is the third year for the club, just starting the third year, I think.
Third, maybe the fourth,
Okay.
but definitely three.
And is Mr. Corliss doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
We got 2 volunteers, just graduated recently out of high school. They do a really good job coaching. Feel like you should do something for them, get a little something for them. They're doing such a good job coaching.
Part of the struggle of being a club is the school district doesn't provide transportation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can tell you that they had a tournament in Manton on Saturday. Wrestlers performed well. They had 7th place out of 18.
Wow, that's great.
Really good.
With 8 wrestlers.
Yeah, with 8
Other
wrestlers.
teams are like 24, 25, something.
Okay.
So,
We do grow.
And they were in Manton for 12 hours. So it was a long day.
So there's 8 participating in the club, is that?
there was 8 at that day, cause there's some injuries, doctor appointment,
Oh, okay.
physical,
So there's typically more than that?
around 12-ish.
In high school.
Is
They're
that,
starting younger, correct? It's
Elementary and
starting-
middle school, there's quite a few of them.
Okay,
is that a co-ed or is it male or is it?
It's both.
It's both, okay. And we have both?
Not in the high school, but I think the middle school, yes, and elementary, I'm pretty sure. There's quite a few children.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Dakota, you know better than I will. Middle school wrestling starts in January. You know, I believe that starts in January.
Later, yeah.
So, and we'll look at the numbers there. And I know they have an elementary program that have started too, that had good numbers last year. We'll look at those numbers again this year.
so it would be something that you could potentially start as a high school sport and then go to middle school? I can't ever see us maybe doing elementary, that's,
No,
those are usually clubs or
I would
just.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we, just thinking back now, we had mats donated, right, to the program?
yes.
That would be something that the district would have to purchase. It's better mats.
Okay.
For that. I have asked Mr. Mulder to kind of start getting together, what it would look like, what it would cost, for the district to make this a sport for next year, so.
Okay.
But I would encourage Dakota, for you and your teammates to come and talk to the board, and,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what these guys are here for.
Yes,
Yep. Absolutely.
Appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much. Interesting talk. Moving on to board roundtable. Anybody around the table have anything they would like to say, bring up?
I'm good.
All right, Danny, you good down there?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
All
I
right,
support that.
all right. Support, all in favor, say aye.
Who made the motion to go out of closed session?
Oh,
I didn't write that down.
never, I think Becky did.
I think Becky did.
And support was,
Ken?
Yeah,
I think Ken and I did,
I
yep.
think we did.
I
thanks.
think we did it right.
I think we did it right.
I think
No, I
we
think
did.
you did.
I think we did.
I just didn't write it down and sometimes it's
Yeah.
not recorded.
Oh, okay, got
So-
it.
So
Yep.
Lisa doesn't know.